Hello there, it's Mike.
And it's Katie.
And it is episode 129, Katie. What are we talking about today?
It's all about the wig.
That's right, on this episode of Cup of Rad.
So apparently the Mad Hatter introduced it.
Well, you were saying I was looking all pensive, so I thought I'd lighten up the mood.
It was like a mix between Mad Hatter and King Candy.
Yeah.
Yeah, with some Alan Tudyk.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like it.
So,
yeah.
Should I just talk like that for the entire episode?
No, you should not.
Today's episode, we're going to be talking quite like this the entire time.
Nope, we are not.
But it'll be quite the adventure for all our listeners. It wouldn't hurt my voice, though, because it's so high. It's the register's quite different.
That is true,
So it wouldn't be... Not like I'm talking like this the entire time, where I have to grit my teeth.
True.
But maybe it'll be more manly of a podcast.
Ooh, we should have a Mad Hatter Tea Party episode. Just a Mad Tea Party episode.
What would that entail?
I don't know. We drink tea normally, but...
Oh.
I don't know. I've been thinking of watching Alice Wonderland another time, so that would be interesting. Yeah. I was looking at reading Alice Wonderland with Kiddo, and I have another, like a different type of a... Elseworlds tale, there we go, of Alice. That I want to read him, and then I was just thinking of this.
Huh.
I don't know. Maybe I'm just trying to find a reason that you could talk like that and be part of a theme other than just like random crazy Mike voice. So how's everyone? Good. Glad
Dramatic
to hear.
pause.
Yeah, I was gonna like it.
Feeling good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Uh-huh.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
That's good, eh? Yeah. Oh, that's so good. Ah. Yeah. So,
it was really nice this weekend, which was great. We actually sat out on our patio, and that was wonderful.
It was fantastic. Hopefully you got some sunshine wherever you at.
Yeah.
But what we did get was we actually spent the week watching Jupiter's Legacy. So we're going to jump right into the meat and potatoes of this thing.
Well, because that was really our excitement. Like, that's what we have. That's our weekly update right there, is that.
So we finished Jupiter's Legacy. So what were your thoughts on the series, Katie?
Wow, you just like spotlight like right into it. Like,
I know, right?
Well, to start out though, I would like second season now. I would like the announcement for season 2 to happen and be like something to look forward to. With that, I like it's a different type of style because it's dramatic with the action, but it's not like it doesn't have that same like horrific intensity that we just came off of with Invincible. Mm-hmm. So I like that. It was a little slow though. I can see that. Definitely more of a dramatic feel. But I like the back and forth and the seamless flashback aspect. I really like that.
With the flashback and the modern, how when it goes to a flashback, it goes to 16:9,
mm-hmm.
and then when it goes to modern, the screen shrinks down to a different ratio. Right?
Yeah,
I don't know what ratio it is. So I'm not even going to try to throw numbers smaller, in there.
Yeah. But, it has bars on the top.
Yeah, right? It's a 236.
Well, because it used to be the 16:9 or 4:3, and it's not that, right?
So I like that you
change, right?
And then you could see that in sometimes I didn't even notice it until it was like shrinking.
Yeah.
Or sometimes I'd notice it and the pictures start getting larger. And I just thought it was a cool way of showing the different time frame. Yeah,
because it's very subtle, and they did such a good job of those fade in and fade outs between them too. So yeah, I really enjoyed it. I liked their costumes. They're comic-y looking and yet so real feeling too. And I thought that was really cool. It'll be interesting to see that the character development of what they were able to do in that short time period though was really, really interesting. And I liked how much the backstory from the past helped feed and fuel the character development as you watch them come together and intertwine with that and really see the change. And it's hard because it brings up that the question of the code that they are talking about is a legitimate thing, and no one has the answer for it. And it brings up real world issues that we do have. And, and seeing that change, and you're not quite sure who the bad guy is and who the good guy is, and it's a little muddled. And then they did great jobs of hinting of what it could be, and And I really, really liked the story itself.
Yeah.
So
who's your character standout then?
Interesting. Well, I like the old flashbacks for the characters more, I think. I really like Walt and George I think those are my two favorite, like, interesting to see what's kind of happening and more in depth with them. For the modern one, I think I like, is it Liberty Bell? Probably a little bit more, because she seems like she's kind of in that, she sees that there needs to be a change, but she's not, I think it is not Liberty Bell something. No, it's not.
Liberty Bell, isn't that The Boys?
I know, right? I thought it was Lady Liberty. That's what it is.
There you go.
I was like, it's Liberty something.
There's too many liberties.
There's too many liberties. I don't want to just call her Utopian's wife. That just seems like not good enough for her.
Right. I get that.
But I like that she's so much, it's almost like that you could see from the flashbacks a little bit more of that soul of the team then.
Yeah.
She comes in with the more rational aspect and not the emotional side of things.
Yeah, Lady Liberty.
There we go. I know when I said Liberty Bell, I was
Kennedy
like,
Sampson.
It does not. There we go. Sorry, Grace. I think she's my favorite hero at the time being. So what are your thoughts? What are yours?
I'm really enjoying it. I like the production value of the suits. The suits just look dope. Yeah. Like, I really want toys. I think I mentioned that last week. Especially after reading the book, I'd like to get a Skyfox.
Yeah.
And I want to see where the show is going, because with knowing the book versus the show, it is vastly different. Mm-hmm. And I'm trying to figure out how it's going to get to where the book went. So I want the second season or the third season or wherever it's going to take us.
Yeah.
But I really enjoyed it. You know, as much as it was slow, I never got sleepy or anything like that.
And that's a big thing for us.
I never got like, okay, whatever, let's move on. Because usually a show, if it hasn't hooked me in 3 episodes, I'm pretty much done. I don't really give it much a go.
And it's much harder for you. Don't, it's not like, oh, let's sit down and watch this. It's like, oh, I guess we should watch this.
Yeah. So to sit down and each night watch an episode, I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Right? Like, if it had come out on a weekly draw, I would have been there. It would have been the Friday night thing, just like Invincible and The Boys and that kind of thing. So it did pull me in.
So from just the show, character-wise, I know you like Skyfox in the book.
I still like George and where he's going in that. He looks really cool. I like Utopian. I don't know why. He looks cool.
I like him too.
His code, it makes sense, and I understand what he's trying to do, and it's that fight, and you can see the struggle that he's having.
Well, because when he explains the importance of it, it's beautifully and well said. Like, I 100% agree with him. And so that's why it's difficult, because all their concerns are legitimate concerns as well. Yeah. And the struggle that he must be facing. I like his long hair. It's such a different style for a superhero. We're so used to clean cut.
Yeah. I think that's what's kind of cool about seeing that is, he's got the beard and he's got the sexy Santa.
Yeah, right. I think you're running the sexy Santa thing.
So just seeing that, I think is kind of a nifty way to look at it. And, I think it's that ideals that he has. And he's not, as much as he's like the all-American ideal, is he still shows that, like, the Nazi comment that he makes, like, about, like, well, there's whatever they're called, there's still Nazis in the street. Like, it's the idea
he
that
still does have a worldly view as well.
Yeah, right. And it's kind of nice to see.
Well, because you know what, he's definitely, you can see from the flashbacks, he is a good guy. He's not, innately racist or anything. He didn't have to unlearn some bad behavior for things. He definitely does care, but I can tell how his trauma that he has experienced is going to be kind of breaking him. And my only concern, like, I still know he's a good guy. Yeah. But it was interesting. I really like that scene that he had with the therapist, the prison guy that was the therapist, discussing, being much more frank with him about it. And the concept, though, that the code is still a way for him to keep control. And it shows, though, I don't know if it's necessarily control of the people, but it's control of the situation, because he felt so out of control from what kickstarted all of this. And he's grasping so hard. And so I feel bad for him, but I love the depth of that story with that, right? So
I'm excited to watch more. Like, it reminds me of watching, like, Umbrella and The Boys. That just the the darker superhero take that isn't the bright and shiny. And I like that we're actually getting things fleshed out, because it is more fleshed out for some of the characters than the comic was. So yeah, I'm excited for season 2. I hope it comes along, and I hope we don't have to wait too long for it. So that's, you know, that's yeah, Jupiter's Legacy. I really got a kick out of it.
Yeah.
So Netflix is also bringing out, and this is like news. June 4th, Sweet Tooth drops, and that looks pretty amazing. Yeah, that's Jeff Lemire, a Canadian guy. Vertigo book. So I'm excited to watch that.
It'll something different and weird.
Yeah, right. So that's pretty exciting. And also Netflix in July is finally going to be dropping the first part of their Masters of the Universe Revelation series. So, and we got to finally see some pictures of that series.
I think I'm excited for it.
Yeah, it's got quite a bit of that 2K look.
And I love the casting.
You know, and the cast is fantastic. So that's pretty exciting. So Netflix has got us by the balls for the next couple months.
As if they didn't.
For other series that are just looking, you know, badass. So, that's kind of exciting.
Very exciting.
So it's the end of an era. End of our cartoon era.
We finally finished it.
Yep.
We finally finished the Thundercats.
That's right. This is going to be the last Thundercats recap that y'all going to get.
Until I buy the next season. Or next series.
Yeah, maybe we'll wait till fall.
Yeah.
But...
Well, yeah, it would make sense, because we do more out on the weekends in the summer, too, as it gets nicer. And we got to take a little bit of a break and really feel like, yes, we need those Thundercats.
Maybe it'll be a weekend or something. We're like, no, we need the Thundercats.
Oh my God, where's the Thundercats?
Now, there's so many other cartoons that we can watch, though, that we can get caught up and finish, like Gargoyles. We haven't finished Gargoyles.
I still want to watch the last season of Rebels.
Yeah, rewatch,
yeah. No, we've already watched it. So Thundercats.
So Thundercats, we, over the last weekend here, we watched the last 5 episodes that we had left. Actually, well, we had more that we watched them during the week. We had a midweek pizza run. Which I think should be a thing.
I was going to say, why is that not a thing more often?
Hump Day Pizza.
That was good.
That really helped the week go by better, I think. Hump Day Pizza should be a thing. Hump Day Pizza is
a better thing than Friday. It's not the reward. It's like, we can do this.
Yeah, it's like a little mini, work 2 days.
A little mini pat on the back. Good job. Here's some pizza. You can make it.
Hell yeah. I think that should be, you know what, more places should promote takeout on Wednesdays than on the weekend. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, how's your week going? Crappy? Guess what? We got you, bro. Come get a pizza.
Oh, okay. We'll do a thing now.
Yeah.
Hump Day takeout.
Yeah. Why is that not a thing?
Yeah. Okay.
Wednesday takeout is like the best idea I ever had. Yeah. Huh.
There you go. You heard it first on Cup of That.
It kind of made the week a lot better.
Okay. Damn it.
It's Friday, we got to do like groceries and stuff. So then I was like, you're rushing to come home, so it was easy to just throw something together because we just bought groceries. So you don't feel like guilty that you're like taking
that you just bought all these food and then you're takeout. Yeah. So I like it. Okay.
And then some little cartoons on Wednesday after.
Yeah, just a little bit of a.
It's like a recharge.
Little pick me up.
Yeah.
Okay, I like it.
Zen, like,
Okay.
Yeah. Anyway, so Thundercats. So we watched the last few episodes of Thundercats. So during the week, the episode we watched...
You mean Mumra?
Yeah, right?
The Mumra show?
Mumra featuring...
Kind of featuring the Thundercats.
So like we watched an episode, it was Mama's Confusion. And or was it Confusion?
Yes.
It was Confusion. Why was he confused?
Because he was torn between wanting to be good and hang out with the Thundercats and being mind controlled by Mama.
Wouldn't it be like Conundrum? Or
yes, it would have been. But do you think a child of that age would have understood what Conundrum was?
Do you think a child that age can understand all the
probably not
undertones that the show has?
But it was renaming it. Yes, it should be Conundrum or
Confusion. No,
but he was. It was confusion.
No, it's not good. He wasn't confused.
I know it didn't make any sense.
A choice.
It didn't make it. He didn't make a choice. He was mind controlled back to the bad side.
So Mumra has the Babylonian barbarian babbling.
No, Babylonian barbarian
boiler. I thought there was a bubbling or boiling in there.
Babylonian Barbarian boiler. Because it melts things. It doesn't boil them. It melts things, by the way.
Yeah, it melts.
It's like a giant heat ray. And it's fueled by an obscene amount of his cauldron fluid. Yep.
His cauldron fluid.
Yep.
That's what we're calling it. Cauldron fluid.
Yeah.
That purple fluid that flows freely from his cauldron.
Yep.
That is connected directly to the ancient spirits of evil.
So it's their fluid.
It's my evil fluid of ancientness. The pipes aren't backed up.
Oh, goodness. So he's ordering Mama to fill this contraption. It's just horrible. I can't even stop. I mean, I'm talking about fluid, but...
Mamat, fill my Babylonian barbarian boiler with the evil spirits fluid.
You know what's so funny is, okay, this episode, it reminded me him like he was like a sitcom having to solve a problem, that it was like, this darn machine, this is just so much harder than I thought it would be. And he's so mean to Mama. But the turning point of what I hated about this episode was the Scooby-Doo running that Mama had. Like, suddenly he was like, as he like, skidded across. It was... I looked at Mike, I'm like, what the hell? Where did this come from? They've never used this ever.
Well, in that episode too, Mumra did the whole head shake. What?
Right? It was so weird. It was like they got a different team in there to do that episode, and they're like, yes, we love Scooby-Doo.
It was like if The Office suddenly did Thundercats episode.
I like it.
Right?
Yeah, it was so weird. And then
Mumra just looking at the camera and going...
Yeah. And then so Mama ended up at the Thundercat. Oh, he ran away, and the Thunder Kittens found him. Yeah. He was in a hole in the forest, and they brought him back like he was a stray puppy. And
Snarfer suddenly showed was ingenious and created a machine so they could allow Mama to talk through Snarf.
Yes. And then Mama saw that Mama was telling secrets about things, and he mind controlled him into being quiet.
But he was like, he just started shouting his name and rank.
Yeah. Turned into the soldier.
Born identity.
Right.
The Mamat identity. Mamat 6382.
It was so weird. And then it just ended.
Yeah, I don't even know actually.
Then because then Mamra was Mamra was boiling, aka melting, the cat's lair. Yeah. And it was all like oozing down. And then once the machine was gone, it reformed. Yep. I would like to know how that happened.
It was all an illusion.
It's like... and then it was just done.
So a lot of the episodes of the second part of the second season have been more like focused on Mumra. Yeah. Right? So like, then we had one, but there were also some weird things that happened. Like Ultraman showed up, he escaped and stole the bookmobile, which was a flying library. That was
awesome.
And he then found out...
That one was the best episode actually for him because there was some good action.
And he is dancing around the library and this disc falls down and he puts it in and TV screen has, a laser the secret, the secret history of, I can't remember the guy's... Jax, yeah. Versus Mumra. Right? It's like this history lesson, but what's hilarious is in Thundercats Roar, they use that idea multiple times that they've got DVDs of their history of things, right? So that's where that came from in Thundercats Roar. So there's even more of that nod to the show, right? Right. So Jax was like this, like, four-armed Birdman.
So he looked kind of like a Horus. That's what it kind of felt like. It was like that.
And so they said basically at one point Mumra ruled half the earth and Jax ruled the other half, and they fought until Mumra stole his amulet. And
he walked up and took his necklace off and then defeated him. It's like, bitch, I got your necklace and I'm going to put it in this super secret vault, but also put this super secret vault on camera. Yep. For the people who finds this video.
So then...
Because then he looks back and like, it's in here.
Yeah, it would have had a little dramatic reenactment.
Yes, it would have. It was so weird.
So then Vultureman goes and finds it, and we find out after 80-something episodes that behind Mumra's sarcophagus is actually a secret door into like a little like throne room.
Yeah.
With like treasures and shit.
So he's got this little back room that he goes to.
Yeah, and then he gets the necklace and he puts it on and he's all, I'm going to defeat you! Right? And yeah, he grows arms.
Because the curse of it is that Jax is then taking over your body instead of you just getting the power of the amulet. Yeah. It's like you're bringing him back to life, right? And what did Jax sound like?
Oh, yeah. So Jax, he kind of sounded like he was from Brooklyn or like that New York-y kind of accent. Which made complete sense, especially from the video, when the video said that he was from the southern hemisphere. Mumra was from the northern hemisphere. But I'm going to take down that Mumra chump, you see?
Yep. Yeah, it was so weird. It's like, what is going on? That's the voice they chose for this, like, regal-looking, like... Egyptian falcon-looking thing? What?
Well, just show that was like the last voice of whoever's part of like the 3 people that did the cast.
That was the last one they hadn't used.
Like, what haven't you used? I hadn't used this voice, so hey, we only got like 3 episodes left. No one will care. No one will notice.
It's totally fine.
It's a kid's show.
It's fine.
Right? It just makes him cooler. He's like a boxer. Yeah, we got this. So yeah,
and then what Snarford had to fix? Oh yeah,
Snarf.
Not Snarf, because they fell through a crack in the earth and it tunneled right into the throne room.
Yeah, it sucked Snarf.
Yeah, and Snarf was there, and then he had to put that on, and then
no, he didn't have to put it on.
No,
he saw a necklace and went, "Oh, a necklace, yeah. Sweet!" Put it on. Oh my God, I'm turning evil. I'm growing extra arms. What's going on? Oh, Snarf, I'm going to pass out.
Oh, yeah.
But he sucked enough energy out of me, so now that he can actually come out and fight.
Yeah. That was a weird...
And then Mumra just, like, pushes him into the cauldron, and he disappears. Oh, no. Mumra falls in, too. Mumra fell in, too.
Yeah, they all fell in. The thing exploded, and there were... And Lionel was like, Well, guess that's all taken care of.
It looks like Mumra's gone again, guys. We've saved the day. We didn't do shit, but it's okay. We're going to take this as a win. Come on, Snarf, let's get out of here. I'm sure Mumra's dead. Moments later.
Yeah. And I'm like, okay, seriously?
The ancient spirits of evil's eyes glow, and then Mumra crawls out of the cauldron. And it ended on that. Like, it was like a still for him of him laughing, crawling out of the pit.
Right? Oh, yeah. That was good. That was one of the better episodes for a while here, though, because the most action-wise.
I love how we just mocked the hell out of it. And then you're like, that thing was fucking great.
Oh!
Like, you're just like, oh, that was a good episode. Yeah. Like, take me back.
You know what? It just goes to show how kind of crappy. But then it was followed by the 2-headed weird-ass robot thing that was controlling.
But he never used a second head.
No, it's just this. It literally is a second head that he doesn't use between his legs. It's useless.
He used to use it.
He apparently did.
And then it died.
He
had ED. Or not ED, head D. Dysfunction.
I don't know. Something happened, man.
Yeah,
but that was a weird, boring episode, just like the last episode that he was on.
Well, was
boring. I think I fell asleep in the last episode he was on.
Projected a storm and then was like, I'm going to project a hologram.
It was the ecological inspector guy that was coming.
Yeah, on his vehicle that sputtered out a swan song.
Yes. I was expecting a much cooler episode titled Swan Song, and I'm like, really? This shit?
Yeah, and then they were like, he'd bring them through this tunnel that would then, like, spit them out, and then he'd all, like, coyly laugh, as you
ran into a mountain.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that one was boring. And then we had one with this, they were like all suddenly bringing back Thunderian refugees and welcoming settlers onto Thundera. And this, like, slave owner basically showed back up. And they're like, you aren't allowed to keep all these people as indentured, like trick them into slavery type thing. And he tried to trick Lion-O into doubting himself and causing chaos, and he was going to basically overthrow the government. And he got caught. And
yeah, that was a weird episode too.
Yeah, that was weird
because it was like magic water that made you doubt yourself. The well of doubt.
And so Lion-O just didn't believe that he could do it. There's a difference too between doubting some of your choices and like he didn't think he was capable of absolutely anything at all.
Yeah.
So it was like
I can't hold it. It's just too big. Oh my goodness. I don't think I can control this thing anymore. Yeah, exactly. That was one of the lines.
Yeah.
He was talking about flying a ship, but when it's out of context, it's pretty funny.
And then the final episode.
The final episode.
It's called The Book of Omens. Mm-hmm. The one that should have been a multi-parter.
This thing should have been 5 parts or something.
Big-ass story, shortest episode ever. Like, what the hell?
I love how Panthro has been working on the Book of Omens in secret.
Mm-hmm.
And he's all like,
oh, by the way.
Lion-O, check this out. These are actually buttons. If you push it like this, it's a code. It unlocks it. And the key goes in.
I wonder how many times he's actually been in the Book of Omens, like, doing shit.
I don't know. But then it goes ahead, and then this, like, ominous voice is all like, hey, remember all those treasures you've collected over the past season. Guess what? They're actually important.
Well, because the planet is literally going to explode again.
Yeah.
And they need to solve this natural disaster that, like, all these spots on the planet are, like, weird phenomenon that shouldn't exist apparently. And it's like we've never heard about all this. They've never talked about any of this. We didn't even know there was weird earthquakes happening, and they're like, we're having another one of these like earth-shattering horrible events. And the book is suddenly like, well, all this treasure, they have to go in specific places at a specific time and do all this, and then everything will be solved.
And you must get into the book and present.
And you have a very small amount of time to do it.
At the 24th hour.
And they have just enough people that are on the teammate to bring them in all these different places in pairs. Yeah.
And the entire time, Mumra's over there like a little beetle. And he's all like, I've heard everything. And I just stole the key in the book. Suckers.
I think it's funny because then he brings it back and he's like, I'm going to go in there and like kill the good, basically. And the evil spirits are like, whoa, no.
You can't do that, Mumra.
So basically they're spelling him doom that he can't go and destroy them because they'd be destroy the good because they'd be destroying the bad, and like all this back and forth. So they try to tell him no. And so then all the teams go off into these special areas and they all get into this like horrible problem.
Yeah, you know what we also found out is how many times the Thundercats put their logo on everything. In the episode before, they put their logo on their water bottle things that they were carrying around.
Yeah.
And in this episode, Panthro breaks out forks
to climb the cliff.
They got their forks. They're not like spikes. They are literally forks. Like maybe a garden trowel.
Yeah, it looks like a garden trowel.
With like an extra handle put on it. And then the Thundercats logo on it, right? To climb a mountain.
So, these good guys here claim an awful lot of shit.
Right? And
stamp ours.
Right? Like that's literally like their thing. Like if it doesn't have the Thundercats logo on it, then
it's useless.
Yeah, right, apparently.
Yeah.
But I didn't even know where I was going with this. It was just like, he had forks.
No, because then, it was just one of the teams that they were doing this. So they were all in these bad situations. And then Lion-O goes into the book and has to fight Mumra. But it's basically key against sword. And because they're both on the same side of the weapons.
Side of good.
The weapons are pointless. So then they go out and they throw their weapons down and they all like brawl at it.
They're supposed to hand-to-hand combat. But all they did was hold hands and roll around on the ground.
Yeah.
And like push back and forth. Was the weakest fight ever.
And because then Mumra cheated and called in this like
devil looking goat man.
Yeah, Krampus looking thing to
fire
fighting him.
Yeah.
And then he awakened the dragons to fight fire with fire, killed that guy, and it was like, yep, okay, you're done.
What was awesome though was when he pushed Mumra over and was like, I've defeated you, Mumra. He puts his sword away and picks up a claw shield. He's like, there's nothing you can do. And I'm like sitting there going, dude, pick up the key.
Literally key that's sitting right there.
It was like 2 feet away from Mumra. And he's like, I don't know what else you're going to do, Mumra, but I'm going to stand here and look at you and tell you, bad Mumra. Bad. And then he calls the goat man, and then he has to fight, and then he's got to like wrestle the key away from Umber again. I was like, that was like just like
it was a weird
extra steps.
Well, and the idea of bringing that other being in was just so pointless in all of it.
Yeah, right.
And then it was like just in time they were able to fix everything, and they put all these like artifacts back in place, and buildings magically appeared in these places, and everything turned beautiful, and like now there's no horror. Well,
what was awesome was when that happened though, the Thundercats logo came alive.
Oh yes, it was
and
a
the
little
giant
black panther that ran
around and like saved the day and everyone's moment.
It was the power of Thundercats.
The power of Thundercats. Dun, dun. So
yeah, that was how it ended. And overall thoughts on the series.
Well, it did end with a good message, though.
It ended with a great message.
It said, we really got to watch everything, and we got to save this planet. We got to keep it in check. We can't pollute and do all this other stuff that'll make things bad.
We got to be in tune with nature to make sure we pay attention when Mother Nature is crying.
Yeah.
It got very environmentally at the last little bit. It was impressive.
And
we didn't listen to Thundercats at all.
Not back in the 80s, apparently. We were just like, what do Thundercats know? Give me my diesel vehicle. I'm going to blow something up.
Yep. Don't worry. Their planet reformed. Ours will too. What are they talking about? They blew up their first one. They left.
And they learned.
Another place. They learned and they came back.
Yeah.
So you know what?
Evil magic brought their planet back.
Yeah, so it'll be totally fine.
Yeah, so evil magic will just bring our planet back.
Exactly.
That just seems
That's what my lesson I take from it. You know?
Forget about taking care of things.
Yeah. I'm just going to deal with it after the fact.
Right? You asked a question.
The series overall.
You know, I love being able to watch this thing from start to finish because there was a whole lot that I had never seen before. Yeah. So I think that was really cool to see. I had only seen probably most of the first season. Second season was nothing because I don't even remember. So it was fantastic to watch. It was corny and ridiculous and hilarious. Mm-hmm. And watching Roar simultaneously, I think even made it better. You know, like just having those and to find those extra jokes, and it made me appreciate Roar more for how much
they really based it on it.
How much they really loved the old show, right? It makes me excited. I do want to get into the 2011 reboot ASAP because I want to see where that went, even though it was only like 28 episodes, so it'll be a quick watch. No, I'm glad we were able to check it out because it was a lot of fun over these months.
For me, like I had never seen Thundercats at all. Like I knew that they existed, but I didn't know anything about them, honestly. So this was
deep in space,
right? This was super fun.
Yeah. See, I would love to. I wish I could find other old series that I would love to be able to watch Toxic Crusaders with you guys, just because I think that would just be ridiculous, campy fun. Yeah. It's only 13 episodes, so we've done that in a couple weeks.
Yeah.
But or Biker Mice, like finding some of those weirder ones, like those ones. I think
I want to watch more Gummy Bears.
You want to watch more Gummy Bears?
Why not? I don't know.
Like seems like we should have watched those like years ago.
I know.
A little below level.
No, I know because I don't have anything back then that I used to watch.
Are you talking about like the ones that bounce here and there and everywhere? That have high adventure that is beyond compare?
Those are the Gummy Bears.
There's someone out there going, damn it.
Yep.
But yeah,
all the episodes, old shows.
Some of those ones that, those weirder, like those ones there, like that I remember loving and seeing because I would love to be able to watch through and know actually how many I watched because then I watched those and I'd be like Thundercats, it was one of those, like, I loved the Thundercats. And then, with watching the series, I'm like, man, I, 24 episodes, maybe?
Yeah.
Right? Like, I remember when we had done,
you gotta wonder how many fans really love a show then, or have that fandom really didn't watch as many either, too. You never know. Because, as I say, it really helped our appreciation of Roar, seeing where all that stuff came from. Because some of the stuff didn't make any sense, and then you watch it and you're like, oh, because it actually was in the original series.
Yeah. But to think about it too, though, is I think a lot of toys were so much bigger back in the day compared to they are now. And I think playing with the toys was more people's jam for He-Man and Thundercats.
because that's so much
G.I. Joe and Transformers.
You make your own stories, right?
Yeah, right. Turtles and all those kind of things, right? you create these stories, and as a child, you could end up not realizing that it wasn't actually a cartoon. It was actually your imagination.
Yep.
Right. And, so, that was what was kind of fun. I still like Lion-O's optimism. I feel like Tigra got the shaft.
Super did.
Being stuck on Third Earth and like just disappearing for basically the, entire second season.
Yeah.
And then it wasn't even like they actually fully replaced him with, well, not the second half of the second season, sorry. But like, there's not even like they replaced him with Bengali and Link. So those characters disappeared too.
Yeah.
And it became more about the bad guys in the second half of the season when they were on New Thundera. Mm-hmm. And it was really just Lion-O and Panthro most of the time, and Snarf.
Yeah.
And occasionally the Thunderkins.
Like the Thunderkins really, like after they had their moment where we were like, where are they? They haven't been around. And then all of a sudden they were everywhere.
Yeah.
It was strange.
And like Chitara didn't really do much.
Chitara stopped running fast, by the way.
Yeah, that really.
She actually needed to get out of the way from somewhere, and Kiddo was like, "Why aren't you running faster?"
Spat out her weapon, and it chased her down.
Yeah, and it was like she was just like running like a normal person.
No, don't do it.
Oh, and there was that one where she got all like weird. Remember that look that she gave? And the one where it was like,
there was so many of them.
No, but she was all like flirty about it.
Where she like brushed her hair.
She brushed her hair. It was like blushing.
Yeah,
I was like, what? That was super strange. Yeah. So. Like some weird things happened in the last few episodes, like out of character.
It definitely lost its vibe in the second season.
For me, I definitely enjoyed them more when they were on Third Earth than the New Thundera. That whole storyline of Thundera reforming and all the stuff that happened with that took me out of it because it was just so convoluted and hard to follow. And it wasn't very well written, honestly. I liked more of them learning about Third Earth, wanting to help the people that were there and really changing as characters themselves. Yeah. And, some of them were starting to get a little repetitive. Yes. But in general, I liked that early on. Right. So
I get that. Get that. But see, that's where we're like, hey, if Netflix is doing a sequel series to He-Man, they need to come up and do a sequel series to the Thundercats. Continue the show.
Yeah. See what if they're still around, or if they did they actually care about the environment, or did they blow up the planet again? Exactly. Are we on Fourth Earth? so yeah.
But yeah, totally worth it. It's still on Hulu, but actually rebooted as well as on Hulu in the States. So if you're in the States, you're lucky if you have Hulu. Everyone else is pretty much out of luck. You got to buy it, or you pretty much have to pay to see it.
At least it's not horrible price-wise, though. Yeah. I mean, some things could be worse than out of availability, right?
Yeah,
so.
But still, it's like it's not as easy to find it in streaming. You have to make sure you get it on hard disk, right?
Yeah.
So, but Thundercats, Thundercats. Oh.
So other than TV, we watched some movies.
So what did you even call this episode?
It's all about the wig.
Okay, because I forgot.
So we're coming back to the reason why it's called that, because we didn't really know what to call the episode, because it was like, this is a strange mix of things.
Yeah.
So the reason why, this one's kind of a loose connection to the wig, but what movie did you grace my eyes and ears with? Just
MacGruber!
Yeah. Yeah, we watched that.
Will Forte's MacGyver spoof that originated on SNL.
Yeah, we're continuing on the SNL comedy train. Which has Kristen Wiig in it.
Yeah, so yes.
In disguise.
I showed Katie MacGruber. So MacGruber is basically a spoof of MacGyver. And MacGyver basically is a guy that creates anything out of nothing, right? Mm-hmm. So the SNL skits would always have him in a dire situation with like 3 minutes left, and he's got to try to save them from a bomb exploding and all that. And you find out he's just an ass, and he's racist, and he's like just not a good person. Right. And they usually always blow up. So they not through SNL Films, which I thought was interesting, but Lorne Michaels still produced it. So it's like, because usually SNL stuff goes through Paramount, blah, blah, blah. This was like rogue pictures, and maybe because they wanted to make it R.
I was gonna say it's a higher rating. So.
All right, so it's an R-rated one. So he comes back. Will Forte comes back as MacGruber, and he's been away for 10 years, thought to be dead after Dieter von Kuntz had killed.
Played by Val Kilmer.
Yeah. So
I first off with that, okay, he's been dead for 10 years. Apparently, he has like 15 Purple Hearts, and he's got all these missions.
He's a
and
highly decorated,
all this sort of stuff, and yet he's like, how old?
Yeah,
like,
I love just the ridiculousness of this movie.
The sparkle in his eyes and the smile he has right now, by the way, is just so much. He's just like
just that moment where at the beginning too, where he's just like, I'm gonna go pound me some cunt.
He loves saying that.
Yep.
You know what? It took me a moment because I didn't know what his name was, right? You never said anything about it. So then he says it. I'm like, what the fuck? Did he? Okay, I'm not a fan of that word. But cunt. Yeah. I know, right? And so
there is an H like, at the end of it. And I'm like, I'm like, cunt.
Did he actually say cunt? And he looks it up. He's like, yeah, that's actually what. Oh my goodness! And it just, I mean, very, very smart wordplay on that one. Right? Holy crap! I'm impressed.
So he's got to get his team back together, and he decides to have this getting his team back together montage, and getting all these big, beefy, burly dudes,
except for the gay guy because he's
a bad person.
He's a bad person.
So then they're all ready to go, and he's like, don't worry, I packed that thing with C4, homemade C4.
Well, because he's just totally putting down the actual military guy that's supposed to be coming. Brian Phillippe plays like this sergeant guy that's with the colonel, and he's like, I don't want anything to do with you. You're just a baby, basically. I got my own guys, and I'm taking care of them, and everything's great.
I packed the van with homemade C4. Myself.
Yep.
It explodes.
And it blew up, and I was like, holy crap. Because with the whole montage, like, there's a lot of people here, and they, like, it doesn't feel like this is the direction the movie's going to go, and I'm wondering what's going to happen, and I did not expect them all to die like that.
That was hilarious, though, too, because then it cuts over, and it was like 6 months later or something.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
They're like, well, those were some good funerals. Yeah, they were. What'd you think of my eulogy? Well, they could have used with less of the F word. They were some really good fucking guys.
But the kids were there. Okay, and then followed by that with the lovely scene of him.
Oh,
so many times. I mean, so incredibly awkward.
You gotta convince him. You gotta convince him to let me do the mission. I'll suck your dick.
Yeah.
I'll suck anything. I'll let you fuck me. I'll fuck anything in this room. I'll let you fuck me.
I'll let you watch me fuck anything in this room.
Just pick something in this room, and I will fuck it for you.
He takes his pants off, and it's just like, holy... I love it. The guys just stand there, it's just like, I don't know what to do right now. Oh my god.
Like, it just played out so beautifully because, he's just shocked.
He pushes it and pushes it and pushes it. Right?
And he's just hunched over the desk. And the general comes back in, and he's like whipping his pants up. And
so
but
bad.
You know the way the general looked is like he's seen this before.
Yes, exactly.
This behavior before.
Well, later on in there was a shot where he says it to the general.
I'll suck your dick.
And you made a very good point. Like, it would have been hilarious if the general said, it won't work this time.
Yeah.
That would have been
It won't work this time, MacGruber.
Like, oh my goodness. So he ends up then asking for this guy's help to work with him now because it's the only one there. And because he tells him the story that Kuntz killed his wife on their wedding day, blew her up.
That dirty cunt.
Right? And then he goes and gets the other member of their team,
played by Kristen Wiig. That's where the wig's come from.
That's where that's from. And
she was in the skits.
Yeah.
She was always like his second in command kind of thing, right?
So then they proceed to try to track him down, and he's just a complete idiot about it. Because I think Kuntz thinks he's dead. And he just, like, announces to the world that he's
like, going to his casino and just totally just, like, I'm going to find you and I'm going to mess you up.
Oh, by the way, the reason why he's back is because Kuntz has a nuclear weapon.
Yeah.
And that's why he's back, because he's the only one that can help save the world.
Mm-hmm.
And, so he's just a terrible spy.
Or is he?
He got the job done, I know, but...
Because, like, you know,
he's the terrible spy who accidentally succeeds.
Yeah.
You know,
I do like the salary and the bum trick, though.
it worked really well. Yeah. Well, and he totally just threw Wig's character into the line of fire, and she's
that
like,
was an awesome scene, though, when they're like, don't worry, we're only 7 blocks away.
7 blocks a year. Yeah,
like,
you got me. We're like 20 blocks away.
Weren't there anything closer? No, there wasn't. There was. But they had a meter.
So, I mean, okay, so I'm laughing. I know I sounded like not excited at all about this when I said we watched it, but there was lots of things that were very, very funny. But to that extent, I also got very, very frustrated with him because he's so terrible.
Yeah.
But then Mike proceeded to scar me with the absolutely horribly awkward sex scene. It's like reverse porn.
It was amazing when he finally decides that to get with Kristen Wiig's character, and they decide to have sex.
Oh God!
And I love that. I'm a virgin. You won't be for long.
Yeah. Oh, it's so horrible.
And then they just leave. I'm gonna shoot all in you. Like,
well, because you know what it does. It starts out having like the sexy time music,
yeah,
and it's like, okay, cool, whatever, and then it just gets so horrible and so bad, but it's so mocking at the same time.
Yeah, because like she's just silent, she's not saying anything.
Yeah,
until she says, "I'm gonna fill you up." He's like, "Shh, let me do the talking."
Oh, and I know that she would have been having a really hard time not laughing.
Oh yeah,
in that scene. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Like,
apparently that was the day they shot that scene was her birthday. So
happy birthday.
Yeah. And just the it's just because it's so awkward, but it's just like that's more of a ridiculous bad sex, like almost realistic scene where it's just like, and
she's so happy with it afterwards too, but she also has literally nothing, but she's just always
and then that scene's followed by him seeing his dead wife and having sex with her ghost.
Yes, because he's trying to find closure on that, and then this poor guy has to watch him
in the cemetery.
Then you see the what he's seeing, and it's him just fucking the air above like crying at the same time. Like, it's so horrible.
I'm gonna shoot because it's Maya Randolph. I'm gonna shoot all over you. No, I'm gonna shoot all over you. Like,
it's so terrible. So I mean, I'm laughing, but it was scarring.
Now there you go. There's something you didn't have on your bucket list that you'd have from Cover Red. Sex sounds. Really bad, really bad sex sounds. Yeah, from MacGruber.
Yep. So
what do you think of MacGruber at the end of it, though?
I'm still glad I watched it. Will I care to watch it in the future? I don't think so. I don't think I need to watch it again myself. But I'm glad that I did watch it because I do really. Will Forte's humor is funny, and he did a great job playing the character. Yeah. And
MacGruber's coming back. Not R-rated though. Oh, okay. It's going to be on Peacock TV.
Oh yeah.
So MacGruber is a show. They're doing it as a show.
But so I did really like the fact that because he had been, when it kind of cycled to the end of it and there was actual growth of sorts. Yeah. Because he had always been bragging about how he would take these people down and you'd never really see it. And you're like, he's totally lying. And then he goes and he literally is ripping people's throats out. And you're like, holy shit, like this got dark. And
I got to go for the turkey. What's a turkey? When you play bowling and you get 3 strikes in a row and the little turkey shows up on the screen. Are you going through the 3 throat rips? Yeah, I'm going for 3.
And okay, I'm not gonna lie. Right there, when he started saying it, I was like, "Oh, he's going for a hat trick." Yeah.
But I had to play to American audience.
I know. Like, oh yeah, I'm sorry, been Canadian too long. Do
you want it? Do you want to do it? Yes. I want to rip his throat out.
I want to rip his throat out. And then you find out why he doesn't ever use guns, because he's scared of them and he doesn't know how to use them. And him shooting the guns was hilarious because it was just mocking the fact of how they actually have weapons shot sometimes in some of these old movies, right? And
these things are great.
It's like, why? This is so much better than all the stupid tech shit that I used to make. It's like, yes, this is amazing. So he ends up beating Kumpf.
He pounded that cunt.
He pounded it. And he left him to blow up he dismantled the warhead so he couldn't shoot it at the State of the Union. And he left them and they all escaped and everything's great. And then at the end, he's marrying Kristen Wiig and Kuntz shows back up and tries to kill him again.
That dirty cunt popped out of nowhere.
Yeah. And he's all scarred and disfigured now. No one likes a disfigured scarred cunt, I guess. He's gone crazy. And he throws him off a cliff.
Yep. And shoots him. And blows him. And then he's yeah.
Oh yeah, rocket launcher to him, huh?
And to set things off, during the credits, you get to see that they don't even make it to the honeymoon suite before him and Kristen Wiig start having sex. Right on the dance floor.
Yep. At least we didn't have to hear it. It's like Frankenstein having sex. Oh, it's so horrible.
You know what? Doing that, like, my throat hurts. Like,
wow.
Oh yeah.
I told him, I was like, dude, like, that's hilarious. She's like, here she is, a little ghost bride. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah.
MacGruber was on Amazon Prime for us, so...
And I'm going to tell by how fondly you spoke of this and the look on your face that you thoroughly enjoyed your RADneisa watch.
Oh, I totally enjoyed my RADneisa watch, because it was just what I needed that night.
Yeah.
That I needed some raunchy-ass humor to get me through to the next day.
And I think that's why next weekend might need to be that too.
Right? Because, yeah, like, as much as I enjoyed the Wayne's World rewatch, having just a little bit more of a, like... adult edge was fantastic.
Yeah.
So but yeah, it was on Amazon Prime, so you might be able to check it out. MacGruber with Will Forte. I really enjoy him.
I know we told you everything about it, but there's still
there's still jokes we didn't tell you about, and there's still some more foul stuff to scar your brain. So.
And you want to watch that sex scene now.
Yeah. You need it in your life.
Sorry.
You need it. So you can do it to your significant other.
And if he ever does, there will be hell to pay.
Anyways, so why is the episode then called It's All About the Wig?
Well, because we watched a new movie that has Kristen Wiig in it. She wrote it too. She helped with that. She's very much involved.
She does double duty in it.
Double duty, yeah. So it's all like
not
super
actual
wig
duty. We're not.
Oh, we're not going there. Okay. What do we watch, Mike?
Barb and Star go to Vista Del Mar.
There you go. That helps with the rhyme. That helps. See, I couldn't remember the Star.
See,
or the Barb.
So you could throw me under the bus. You were like going to throw me under the bus.
Yeah. So we watched this new movie.
Barb and Star go to Vista Del Mar.
Yeah,
so it's not as crude.
No,
it was only like rated 14, I think.
Mm-hmm.
So. Like that sex scene thing like ruined my voice. I'm out of tea.
Oh no.
I've got scratchy voice now.
Yeah, so we shouldn't do it ever again. Okay.
I should ever. I need a lozenge before I do it.
Get that damn lozenge out of your mouth, Mike. Okay, so we watched this movie.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's their like what, mid-40s? I don't know. I'm having a hard time determining like what they say their age because they feel a lot older than we are, but at the same time,
they're probably in their late 40s,
late 40s. 50s. I would assume, yeah.
They might be closer to the 50s.
50s. Okay, so but they're having a midlife crisis of sorts because they have lost their jobs now.
They're Barb and Star are best friends.
Okay.
And they are
inseparable.
Yeah.
It starts out with them. It's a great introduction. It starts out with them talking on a couch, drinking tea type thing.
Yeah, and you think they're just like friends having tea. Hanging
out. Well, then this couple walks up and they're like, oh, do you work here? Well, yeah. And they apparently work.
But you don't want to buy this couch. No, you don't want to buy this couch at all because this is the last model of this couch. It's the floor model. So you don't, it's got stains and all that.
And then they have this little like power. And they're like, they can't buy our couch. This is our couch. No. Like we've had so many memories on this couch.
How about we just sit on this couch and fart on it right now?
And they're like, no, you can't buy this couch. Like you can't. They totally talk them out of it. And they're just like, oh my God. So you find out they work there and they were just hanging out. And their boss calls them in and it totally feels like they're going to get in trouble for talking people out of the sale.
Yeah.
And it's the store is actually closing down.
The company shut down months ago and forgot to tell them.
The franchise store. And so you find out that they actually come to work like that day.
They didn't
neither
even
one
know
of them was supposed to be on shift.
Yeah.
They come to the store no matter what if one of them is there. So if Star is working, then Barb will show up and hang out. And so today neither one of them were actually scheduled to work. They both just showed up. And
but then they live together too. They sleep in the same
bedroom. So they like literally are super entwined. And so they lose their job, and then that same night they have talking group.
Yeah.
Which is like, what you
basically what we're doing now. It's our talking group.
But the lady is like super controlling, and they have to pick a topic out of the jar, and that's the only thing they can talk about.
And if you're late, you get locked out.
There's like hardcore rules, and she's crazy.
There's only 3 rules for talking group.
Talking club. Talking club. There are 3 rules of talking club. We only talk on the topic that's there.
Can't be late. And no lies.
Yep. And so they lie because the topic is jobs, and they go and
they didn't want to say that they lost their job.
Well, then they break and they tell the truth, so they get kicked out, so everyone leaves.
Yeah.
So now they've lost their job and their only little group of friends.
Yeah.
And they find this lady that they know is in town, had just gotten back from Vista, and she's just like radiant and glowing and how wonderful it was. And so they get this brochure and they're like, maybe this needs to happen because
we deserve a holiday.
Star's husband had left her, right?
Yeah.
That's Kristen Wiig, and Barb's husband had died.
Yeah.
And so they're, in a bit of a funk. They basically are like, you know what, we don't take chances. We don't have fun anymore. And I love this concept though, because they're like, I love how she referred to it. They don't have the shimmer anymore. And she's like, well, isn't that just what happens when you get old?
Yeah.
And I love that, because I think that's a lot of people do live that way. Because
they started talking about all their stories, and they're like, yeah, but all our stories are from the past. We don't have any stories from now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we're not creating any new memories,
Yeah.
And just reminiscing about things. And it was the idea that, just because you're getting older doesn't mean that you can't keep living and creating new memories and new stories. And so then they take this chance and they end up going, right? And it was just it was very heartwarming, actually, to think that. And
there's a lot of shenanigans.
Yes.
A lot of shenanigans.
But we did forget to say how the actual movie started with a whole lot of, are we watching the right movie?
Yeah, I think we should just leave that in case someone goes and watches it.
I know. I'm not going to talk too much. But the front of the movie opening scene is very much like, what's happening? So.
Because there was we were confused. We thought we'd hit the wrong button or something like that. Yeah.
So they show up in Florida and show up at this resort, and they have this big like song and dance number.
Yeah, like the movie, it's like all over the place. There's musical numbers in the movie. There's like the thing I didn't realize it was going to be about.
Yeah, at all. Like I had no idea that.
And then it has the what I thought the movie was about, the heartwarming message of people like finding out.
So so they basically they get to experience all this stuff because Barb is terrified of like anything new and things not working out. So she gets to find all this adventure and she's trying everything. And Star finds a way to connect to people, and they find out that they don't have to literally experience everything together.
Yeah.
And it doesn't make them bad friends or bad people. They can still come back together and enjoy things together. And there was a lot of, they work so well. Their banter and everything back and forth was just, they're just so happy. And Trish. Trish. So it was really, really good, heartwarming story. About finding their shimmer, and I thought that was adorable.
Yeah.
And so I'm really happy we watched it.
It was a lot of fun, actually. Like, it was
a good lesson in a lot of different places, and a lot of weird, like, bizarre moments.
Yeah.
But it was really funny, so.
Yeah. There's some of the humor is really out there.
Yes.
It's not as crude as MacGruber.
No.
But it's still like there's a lot of
that little that Kristen Wiig humor still.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. I love when they get the drink and
the buried treasure.
Yeah. And
no, you can't tell people what the buried treasure is now.
But like when they get to the buried treasure, like that was hilarious.
Yep.
And how like the guy's like, I'll finish that, and they're like, yep. He's like, that was quick. And this?
Yep.
And you found this?
Yep.
And then it goes somewhere. It was just like, what? So I recommend seeing it if you like just like kind of that quirky humor. It is, you know, a different film.
Yeah.
It's not like our usual movies.
It's a different style of humor for sure. I liked how it's
it was produced by Will Ferrell's company. Mm-hmm. The sister company. Yeah. Gloria Sanchez.
You know, one thing I like too is it's mocking but not about the stereotype of like that middle age and the clothes that they wear and the way they act. Yeah. They are, you know, they're very set and they're very stereotypical in the like it starts with the definition of culottes type of pants.
I didn't even know what culottes were.
And like all the different things that they're buying and the way they dress and everything like that. But at the same time, it's not making fun of them because they're good people and they're not. Yeah. And so it's kind of nice because it's that perfect humor where you laugh at the ridiculousness of something that's real, but you're not actually saying something's wrong with it. Yeah. It's just like, it's weird that people have this way that they like these people that exist like this, you know, and, but, you know, kind of a change of the idea of that kind of breaking out. You don't actually have to be that way, that type of thing too. Yeah. So yeah, I really enjoyed it. I'd recommend it.
It was a lot of fun.
But it's definitely, different styles.
Yeah. So. I love that there's actual musical numbers in it because the musical numbers in it were fantastic.
Like dancing musical numbers too. Like it's not just
Broadway,
singing.
like
Broadway type
huge,
style.
like you'd see in a musical film.
Right. And that was kind of was like almost like a. No, I'm not going to say anything. I'm not going to ruin it.
Yeah.
No, we're good.
So go watch Barb and Star. Go to Vista Del Mar.
There you
said
go.
it right again.
You did.
So, yeah,
we got it.
Rule. So it's time for some more of the heavy breathing.
No, it's not. We're good. Wow.
So we're on our comedy trek, trying to like lighten the load of life and make things more humorous and fun. Yeah. So who knows what next week will bring? Maybe we'll crack open a new tune and you'll get an earful.
Yeah, we'll have to find out. Yeah.
But thank you to everyone for listening. We appreciate y'all for coming back to our show each week and enjoying our goofy little subtopics and topics. And just want to say, stay rad, dudes.
Thanks for joining us, everyone. Have a wonderful day. Thank you for listening. Want more rad content? Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. And don't forget to subscribe, rate us, and leave us a review.
And remember, be excellent to each other and party on, dudes!